get back to, where we left off from episode 1. Like I was saying, yeah, man, allegedly Pinkerton was pulling up real slow, looking up at the camera, allegedly. So what allegedly happened that day? So like I told y'all, I was in Burbank. Camera just went down. Police ain't want to do nothing allegedly. So I had to, figure out what to do. I was like, dang, like what I gotta do? So, boom. What ended up happening that day on the 18th of January, 2025, allegedly when the Pinkerton security came onto the property and smashed my cameras. This is what allegedly happened. So the cameras went down. I'm here in Burbank. Can't talk to the cops. Cops, done hung up on me. I got hung up on the phone by the cops, allegedly. I was just like, man, like, cameras down, so only one camera was up. So 3 cameras went down that day. Well, truthfully, 5 cameras went down that day. 5 cameras went down that day. So my Wi-Fi camera, the one that, my original Sky camera that always gets hacked, that's always was getting hacked, that's how I wasn't catching anyone at first, that went down. And the 3 new cellular cameras that I installed on the roof went down. So after the cop hung up on me, and I want to tell people, if you just watching this video, go back and watch episode 1. That gives you pretty much an update to where we at right now. But so cop hung up on me. I'm getting robbed on camera. My property is getting robbed on camera. The cop encountered the suspect and let the suspect go, because the suspect told him he went onto the property because he thought it was a cartel outpost. Allegedly, that's what he thought it was. So, I don't even know if he told the cop he smashed the cameras, which you should just get arrested, right? Or, that's what you would think. So, let me remember, I believe after I was unable to talk to the cop, after he hung up on me, I proceeded to call the San Bernardino Sheriff's Department to talk to like a supervisor, or a sergeant, or someone, someone that, be like, maybe it's, maybe it ain't all of them. You know what I mean? Maybe it ain't all of them. So, I decided to, call San Bernardino and be like, hey, I got the dude on camera coming to the property, and they're telling me like, oh, that's just trespassing. Literally on the phone, allegedly taking up for the guy, calling the guy a gentleman. I'm talking to a sergeant at San Bernardino Sheriff's Department right now, allegedly telling me he ain't did nothing. Do I have a gate up? Like, literally caught this man trespassing on the property, telling them like, hey, my camera went down. And what the cop said on the phone when we had our conversation, he was like, oh, he said he went to the property. I don't know. That's what he told me. Allegedly, he went to the property to check it out. When I started to question him about, where's my cameras? How many cameras did you see? That's when the cop got frustrated and hung the phone up on me, allegedly. So, it's just crazy. I'm now talking to a sergeant at San Bernardino County, allegedly, and he's telling me it's a gentleman. He didn't do anything, so pretty much they ended up telling me I need to go to the property to see if anything's missing, because, you know, they're like, oh, he didn't take anything, you know, they're like, he ain't did nothing. I need to go check the property out, and also, he ain't do nothing. They're going to tell his company, and it's not going to happen again. That's pretty much what the sergeant is telling me, the 18th of January, 2025, allegedly. So I'm like, okay, like, I just got to get up there and see what's going on, see what happened. Like I tell you, all I have now live to view is one cellular camera that's now, it was thrown on the roof. I found out that later, but at that moment on the 18th, all I had access to was one video camera, and it was pointed to the sky. So we looked at it all night. It was just pointed to the sky the whole time. So, boom, next morning, bright and early, 5 a.m., I'm riding up to the property. So, if people don't know, Route 66, where my property at, if you drive the route as much as I have, I've driven Route 66 so much, I realize how they built the road to literally follow, you know, the stars and the planets. So at this particular moment, I can't forget that morning. Driving up, heading I would say this is heading east on Route 66, heading to my property. The freaking sun is smack dab on the road in your face. Like, they literally built the road, because, you know, the sun does what it does every day, no matter what year it is. So they built it like you know, like a sundial. They built it. If you've driven the route, you know that it follows astrology. So at this time, I'm driving down the route. Sun just literally on the car. Like, I can't see my head out the window trying to get up there. I'm trying to race to, you know, it's like a race. I don't know, these people coming back. You know, just understand the chest pounding situation. I'm like, yeah, I don't know if they waiting for me. I don't know. I'm just going to see what's up. Like, it's my property, you know, and, you know, cause all this distress, this harassment in my life, allegedly. We going to see what's going on. Well, I'm going to see what's going on. So I'm up there. I'm head sticking out the window. I'm trying to get to the property. So I finally get to the property, take out my camera and start recording. I have this all on recording, you know. I recorded 6 minutes of video as soon as I came to the property, just to see what happened. Like, what did this Pinkerton security employee do? Like, he pulled up, cameras went down. Like, what really happened? The cops saying nothing happened, allegedly. So I'm like, okay, let's see. Did something happen? First thing I noticed, my cameras are not on the roof that I installed. First thing I noticed. I just installed 3 brand new cellular cameras. They supposed to be on the roof. When I get there, they're nowhere on the roof. That's the first thing I noticed. Second thing I noticed, we have a family cat named Mortar. Yes, a cat. We had this cat for many years, and I'll tell just a unique story later how, you know, I got this cat. This is a very unique cat. And, you know, we have a cat, yes. So, second thing, the cat is crying. The cat is meowing like crazy. Never heard the cat meow. Like, it's like one of my kids crying. Like, it's like his issues. That's the second thing I noticed. After I noticed my cameras is gone off the roof where I installed them. I just installed them days ago. Brand new cellular cameras that I spent good money on to protect my property. They're off the roof. They're no longer on the roof. I have video of me installing the cameras. Yes, I have. This stuff is all on video. Crazy. Cameras is gone. The cat is crying. So, like I said in the first video, I installed tire tracks in the driveway. That's the third thing I did. My third thing I did, I had a trail camera that I installed in the front of the driveway pointing at my no trespassing sign. So if you trespass, I have evidence of you knowingly trespassing, which I have evidence of. And you can go to Pacer and look up all of what I'm talking about because it's public record. Clemons versus BNSF, or you can just Google simply Dustin L. Clemons. So, you know, camera's going, the cat is crying. I checked my camera. I had it on a grill camouflaging, pointing directly, like you know, I learned to put cameras right in your face because you wouldn't see it right in your face. So it's literally right in your face. I noticed, okay, good, no one tampered with that camera. That camera's good. I was like, good, I got stuff on there. Checked my tire strips. Tire tracks are right over the tire strip, the tire tacks that I dropped. So I dropped tire tacks, tire marks right over them. A lot of tire marks. I'm like, yeah, I got a tire. You know, James Bond don't work. James Bond is working. You see what I'm saying? I done got a tire. I done got video of it. It's working. This is before I installed the deadly booby traps. So luckily I didn't, because I would have got, these are some big time people I'm dealing with. If it would have been a different type of situation. Luckily, the technology worked, people, because I had the stuff that would do some stuff. You see what I'm saying? But let's get back to it. So the tire tracks, there are tire marks all over where I put a row of metal tire tacks. I was like, yes, I got a tire. So, this is all on video. I proceeded to walk up my driveway towards my tiny home. I'm like, man, my freaking cameras is off the roof. Started to encounter the beat up cameras on the ground, allegedly. Cameras are beat up, ripped up like a bear hit them. Looked like someone chewed an antenna off, slapped off a solar panel. So these were solar cellular cameras. So it had a solar panel attached to the camera. So it was very techy. Okay. Ripped the solar panel. So I feel he encountered and figured out that it wasn't wildfire. So allegedly, let me get deeper into the mindset of the criminal. Allegedly Pinkerton, and who's doing security for BNSF, of course. So like I say, it's more than one. I'll say that right now. I don't want to tell too much of the episodes early, but more than one criminal allegedly in these situations. So ripped the cameras apart. So ain't even hit the cameras down. The cameras are ripped up. So cameras ripped up, allegedly all over the place. I found my East camera. No, not the East camera. The East camera good. When I get to that, found the first camera, eat up on the ground like a bear attacked it. Second camera, beat up on the ground like a bear attacked it. Ripped apart like someone bit it. That's how it look, like someone bit it off. I'm telling you, allegedly, that's how it looks. This is evidence. I have this stuff. So I'm like, man, like it's crazy. I just put brand new cameras up I spent money on. Now look how it looks. Like this is what we living at. Okay. So camera's gone. I get around to the front of the house. Boom. We're gonna call this the bear camera. So I literally set up a camera just in case a bear came. So I, myself, and this is the camera that caught the most valuables. So mind you now, like I told y'all, the cops were saying, oh, he just trespassed and that's not a crime. They literally saying that, allegedly, that trespass ain't a crime. I needed a fence. I need to clean up the property. This is what they allegedly telling me. They said he didn't do nothing. I did everything. They allegedly telling me this. This is what the cops, San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department, allegedly. That's what they're saying to me. So I put a camera, a low-tech trail camera, in a bear box in the window of my tiny home. So I had one, and the tiny home has one window and one door. And that's facing, I would say, what? the east of the property, and this was a camera that I knew the criminal was gonna, cause see, the criminal loved my Sky camera on my 16-foot pole. They would always hack it and come and ransack the place, steal things, and it was just so good for them. They would hack it. Understand, during the process back in December, I purchased a second camera, which was a Wi-Fi camera, and I put it on my property just to see what would happen with that. I felt they was hacking that one. So what happened is they fell in love with the Wi-Fi cameras because they can just jam it and I wouldn't find out about it. So that's why I got low-tech trail cameras that just worked off battery, no connection at all. So you had to think, you had to be smart about it. Like I said, I became James Bond, I became Rambo, I became, the people from the Gullah Geechee Wars, the people from the Seminole Wars, just real warfare-ish, it got, like I say, some of the stuff that I got that I still have, I didn't even utilize, and it was going to be ugly. Like limbs was going to be laying out there. Luckily, the technology caught them. The low technology caught them. So, yeah, I put a low-tech trail camera in a bear box. So it's a camera that records off a battery onto a SD card, and it's enclosed in a box, and then I lock that box with a padlock. Yes, so just imagine how that looked. I think it's in the court records. If you pull some of the motions, you can see a picture of it. Just go to Pacer, or you can go straight to the court's website, and this is public records. You might have to pay $1 or so to get it. But it's a camera enclosed in a cage, so a metal box with a lock on it, and I just sat it in the window. When I put it up, I was like, yeah, they gonna touch this and beat it up. That's what I said. I foretold that they're gonna touch it and beat it up. I said, because it's gonna piss you off, because you wouldn't think it would be more cameras. And yeah, your boy put more cameras. I planned it out. I do this. It's okay. If I gotta get there, I gotta get there. I put more cameras. It was more cameras too. It's more cameras. So yeah, I just sit this one in the window because it just looks crazy. I know you would just want to. It would just be too much for someone. It's someone like me. I'm cerebral. I'm crazy. But just some average robber, burglar, it'll drive them fools seeing this. So I put a camera in a bear box, put it in the window. When I got round to the front of my house, that bear box was gone. But let me tell you something else, people. Like I say, James Bondish. Seminole War. Gullah Geechee Wars, I put a GPS tracker in the box as well. So it's not only a camera, it's not only in a bear box, it's not only padlocked, it's also equipped with a GPS tracker. Because that's what I thought. I was like, if I'm a criminal, a stupid criminal, what would I do when I encounter something like this? I'm taking it. So I was like, let me put a GPS tracker in there as well. Let me just, one little, you got to put that cherry on top. Put that cherry on top. So I was like, the day I got there after the incident, the alleged January 18th incident, Pinkerton pulling up and cameras going down, allegedly, I was there the next day, my cat crying, and I noticed my bear camera was gone. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna track that. So I avoided the house because I don't know if they set up booby traps or what. So I approached the house, used the stick to open the door, noticed that it wasn't nothing. They didn't, they ain't smart as me to set up nothing crazy when you open the door, something happened. I had to make sure they ain't thinking like me. So I opened the door, nothing happened. And I immediately said, oh, did the camera just fall out the window? So it didn't fall out the window. I was looking for it. I was like, oh, I got to go track it. So mind you, this is an active job site on the railroad track. So what I'm saying is, these men are still around there watching my every move. So BNSF Railway Company is putting in a new railroad track back there as all of this is going on. So it's workers, it's everything. Allegedly, BNSF Railway Companies putting in the railroad track back there in Amboy, allegedly. And workers are out there, some of their contractors and different other large entities. So they're doing work. I feel them looking at me. So I'm like, man, I gotta find a camera. So I'm on the property acting like I'm just chilling, but I'm literally looking for the camera. I'm like, where's the camera at? Because I know that got everything. That got everything. I just dropped everything and started to look for the infamous bear camera. Okay, I'm checking my phone, I'm checking my GPS, I'm trying to get signal out there, because I don't have everything set up in the house like I had that would give me the good signal. They out there jamming the signal, allegedly just doing a lot of stuff with my network. So I'm on my phone trying to look for the device and track it, like, oh, where's that camera? And I know, like, where's it at? So I couldn't find it. I couldn't ping it, nothing. My cat's crying. I cannot find the camera, people. So I'm disappointed. I take a couple of photos of the smashed cellular cameras that got smashed off the roof, allegedly. They got smashed on the ground. I found my one east camera. The guy threw it on the roof, so he broke it and threw it on the roof, but didn't break it. So he thought he just broke. I probably had to run. He just broke the solar piece and threw it on the roof. So I was able to get back on the roof, get that camera. So now I'm down 2 cameras, straight damaged, can't even work. The east camera was working, but the solar panel was just no longer attached. He just straight broke it off, allegedly. Just straight broke it off like a beer. So I'm like, man, I can't find the bear camera that was in my window that I know caught all the good stuff. I was like, that camera caught all the good stuff. And you touched it, so I knew it had you touching it. So I can't track it or nothing. The cat's crying. It's just so much things, and I'm like, man. So I'm calling the cops, telling them, hey, I'm about to come, show you, like, look, this dude messed my stuff up. Y'all need to get these people. You know what I mean? Like, what am I to do? Large corporation. Do I go retaliate and handle this? I'm like, nah, let me, you know what I mean? They got money. Let me call them. Let me get the cops, tell them, hey, handle that, man. Go meet the cop, the same cop. Look up Clemons versus San Bernardino County. Pull that complaint. They're not even serving it on the cops. That's another story. We can get on that later. Went to go see the cop to show him the pictures of the smashed cameras, of my camera missing. So lastly, let me tell y'all, before I left the property to go see the cop, because I went to Barstow to see the cop. Before I left the property, I got to the main road to even try to track the tracker, to track the camera. It kind of showed that the camera was a little bit away from the property, so it looked like maybe the guy stashed it down from the property. I didn't know. I wanted to go meet the cop to show him, like, get the guy. He can tell us where the camera at. You know what I mean? I'm like, why find the camera? He know where it's at. We know who it is. We got his face. You talk to him. He'll tell us where my camera at and why you smashed my other. You know what I mean? So, now, he going to do that. I'm going to meet the cop in Barstow, allegedly. Talk to the cop in the Barstow Police Station parking lot, allegedly. The same cop that I talked to on the day of the incident, which was the day before. He met me. We'll decide if we want to say his name later. But, I can, but it's just, allegedly. So now I met the cop in the parking lot, showing him my pictures. This guy seeming like he cutting the body cam off, allegedly, not paying me any attention, allegedly, asking me weird questions, allegedly, like how many bars do I have, what type of camera is it, like literally, like if someone want to know how did I catch this guy, I'm telling the cop, hey, it's another camera outstanding. That camera has everything. Remember y'all was saying no crime? I'm sure that's a crime. That's theft if you got the camera. I said, there's more camera. I can't find it. I'm telling the cop this. He asking me more information that's like he's sharing information with the bad guys, allegedly. And I have this in my complaint. Like, that's literally what it was like. Like, literally he was getting, it seemed like he was getting information for the bad, for Pinkerton to tell him what happened. Allegedly, that's literally what it felt like to me. I was like, is he just asking me, how did I catch him? Like, that's what it seemed like. He just was like, man, how did you catch him? Or us? You see what I'm saying? Allegedly, that's how he make it seem like, how did you catch us? Like, they trying to figure out how I got James Bond on him, you know? And I'm like, look, a crime happened. A camera is broken and the guy is free and nothing's happening. And he ain't worried about that. So long story short, he's, you know, doing, you know, acting real weird. You know, I'm like, man, it's like I gotta handle this myself. So I just said bump it, left, and I was talking to my girl. I was like, man, I'm coming back. I need to rest. It's just too much going on. So let me get it right. Because there's so much going on. I gotta let me gather myself. It's just like days and days and days. So yeah. So yeah, because that was that day. Okay, so yeah. I set, before I left the property and went to go see the cop, I set up the east camera that was broken, but it still worked. I reset that camera up in a position facing the driveway that's like directly in your face. So you wouldn't even had noticed me set it up. Like I said, the workers was in the back allegedly. I was being very, you know, sneaky, and I put the camera up so they couldn't see me. Then I went to go see the cop. And then after I left the cop, you know, we just monitored the camera for the rest of the night. And let me get the story straight. So it was probably one day went by, and you know, we saw some weird stuff on the camera. And then came, I would say, like 2 days later, I went back up to try to find the bigger camera. I'm like, man, I need to find a bigger camera. So let me I'm mixing up, y'all. So dog, this was the same day. So the same day after the incident of the 18th, so the 19th, when I went up to the property, took photos of the evidence, then went to the cop. He didn't want to hear the evidence. Then I proceeded to leave the cop and went back to the hotel room. An hour away, down from the desert. We was down in the city. Got back to the hotel room, getting undressed, about to get in the shower. Boom! My fiance is looking at the east camera I just set up, just left the property. We caught an employee allegedly from Sequoia Consultants, Inc., an engineering firm. We caught one of their employees, 1 p.m. on my property, looking around just like I was just there looking around. Now, allegedly, What is he looking at? Why is he looking around just like I was just looking around? Anybody can you figure that out? I was just there looking around because the camera's gone and I'm trying to find the camera. Why is this man from this company doing the same thing? Now understand, at this moment, I didn't know it was from Sequoia Consultants Inc. I didn't know allegedly that this was one of their employees. Again, I didn't know this. I'm thinking, okay, this is another Pinkerton allegedly, or BNSF allegedly. That's what I'm thinking. So, come on to the property, looking around. We're looking at him on the camera. I'm screaming on the camera because you can talk through the camera, but I guess the connection was bad. His hand was in his pocket. Allegedly, I feel he was hacking the camera. That's why he felt so comfortable just walking right in front of on my property, because they know I was gone. Allegedly, they know I left. We caught him on camera, looking at him on the property, looking for the camera, the missing bear camera. This is around 1 o'clock. I'm livid. I'm like, I'm cursing, get off my property. The wind's blowing. I don't know if he heard it or what. He's still just looking around, like looking, not even noticing the camera right in his face. That's how good I was putting it up. So I put the camera up before I left on that same day. I put up one of the 3 cameras that was still working. I affixated to my wind turbine pole that they destroyed. So I put it on the allegedly destroyed. I put it on that pole. He didn't even know it was there. So I literally just left the police, who didn't care. Another employee's back on my property. I called the cops. I said, look, they're back on the property now. Another officer responded. I have him on camera coming onto the property. Tripping out. I'm like, they looking for the camera. So I'm all like, oh, I know the camera got the good stuff. If another person is looking for the camera, again, allegedly, I just left the cops now. What I was just saying, the cop was asking me information like he trying to give information to them. Allegedly, that's what he was doing. So I'm like, what? He backed us. Another employee is on my property in my face on camera. What I'm gonna do about it? I called a cop. He came. This cop was cool. I got him in the complaint as well, in the San Bernardino County complaint. Look it up. It's on Pacer. Crazy stuff. So I'm looking at the cop. I'm talking to the cop on the phone while he on my camera. Hours later, because it took him like 2 hours to get there. It's a remote place, I understand. He got there though. He was more professional, this cop. And he was like, oh, you got him on camera. I was telling him it's a camera still outstanding. That's what he was looking for. But for the most part, they were still just saying, oh, I don't have them doing no crime. They still saying there's no crime. I caught a second employee on my property. They're still saying there's no crime. Yes, allegedly. They're still saying there's no crime happening. I done caught a second employee on my property. Allegedly. So allegedly it was Pinkerton Security the first time, allegedly, and allegedly the second time it was Sequoia Consultants, allegedly. So, which I found out the second one after the fact. So I'm like, ain't nobody want to do nothing. What am I thinking? I gotta find that beer camera. So give it, I say, a day or two. I'm back up to the property. I'm back up at the property. Like, I gotta find that beer camera. That's where it's at. So, back to the property, the cat crying. This is the last day we see the cat. Last day I see the cat. I believe, the 22nd, January 2025. Last day you see the cat. The incident happened on the 18th. I came back up on the 19th, and where I encountered a second employee on my property, we saw him. 20, 21, 22, I believe. Went back up to try to find that bear camera. I was like, man, I gotta find that bear camera because it was still pinging, showing that it's good, it's there. So I was like, man, it's showing it's there. Like, okay. So get back to the property and crazy. Looking for the camera, man. I'm looking for it. The workers are out there allegedly. There's a lot of them out there now. They're doing earth moving work. They're in the big trucks. I just feel their eyes on me. I know everyone's been looking for that camera. And even we had cameras issues in between that time. We felt that people was allegedly coming back looking for the camera. I think everyone was looking for the camera in between this time, man. We was looking for that camera. I was looking for that camera. They was looking for that camera. That camera had the good stuff. And come to find out, it had the good stuff. But at this moment, I didn't know what was on the camera. I just know it had something because I was looking for it. And they sent someone back on the property after I done called the cops to look for it. So I was like, it gotta be something good on that camera if they gonna come back on the property after I done called the cops. They came back. Well, they came back after I called the cops before, but after I done called the cops and caught them on camera, they came back. So I was like, if you come back after I done caught y'all on camera, it must be for a good reason. So I was like, I gotta get up there and get that camera. So I get up there that day. Again, the sun in my eyes early in the morning. I don't know, this is like 5 something. I'm trying to get up there, trying to get that camera. The workers up there, they looking at me. I parked the car on the front. I didn't even go down the driveway because I don't know of tracks still in the driveway. I never picked up the spikes because I left them in case they was coming back. Man, going up there, I gotta find the camera. Start tracking the camera. So a GPS tracker was on the cat as well. Yes, put a GPS tracker on the cat because my fiance thought they would do something to the cat. She already was nose down. I didn't think they was crazy. She already thought they was crazy to do it. So I put a GPS tracker on the cat, and I think it was my mistake to do that. So I pinged the cat. Okay, man, the cat hiding in the bag outside. The cat is terrified. The cat don't even come out no more. So I tracked the cat. He's hiding in the bag outside. So I'm like, man, where is the camera? I'm thinking it's in the wash. I think I gotta walk miles to look for it. I'm just out there like walking around like a needle in a haystack trying to find where's this camera. It's pinging and I don't hear the sound. See, I heard the sound of the cat's caller and I found the cat, but I didn't hear the other sound. So I'm out there trying to hear the whispers. I'm trying to hear everything. I'm trying to feel the mood. Like, where's the camera at? And then I hear beep, beep. I'm like, is that it? I hear beep, beep, beep. I'm like, is the camera out? I said, I know I don't hear this beeping. So I'm stuck. I'm looking around. I'm slowly looking around. I'm like, where's the camera at? Where's it at? Where's it at? I hear beep, beep. I'm like, oh, it's all this. So I'm here. I'm turning to the west. I'm turning to the south. I'm like, I hear it. Beep, beep, beep. Boom! The camera right in your face on the ground. Now, it's crazy the spot the camera's at. The camera was like, I would say, 3 yards from the tiny home to the corner on the ground, but it was on the ground with some rocks that just so happened to be the same tan color as the pier box. So what I'm telling you people, if I did not put a GPS tracker in that, it probably would have took me days, even weeks to even figure out that it was right there in your face. Because, you know, at this time it's debris on the property and damaged everything allegedly. It's just war zone out there. It's a war zone. It's literally a war zone. So just imagine a needle in a war zone you got to look for. So I I was like, man, if I had put a tracker in this camera, I would have never found it. It was like right on tan rocks. It would have, because it's tan to like blend in with the environment, but where it was at, it was really blending in. And I was like, man, if I didn't have this tracker in here, it probably would have took me probably weeks or months to even walk up on it. So I walked up slowly. Imagine you now, all of the workers in the background on trucks. I feel them looking allegedly now. I feel them looking. I'm like, they looking at me. They looking. Man, I walked up to that camera, scooped it into my jacket, and went straight into my tiny home. I was like, oh, I got it. I got it. I was like, I got it. Allegedly, the camera looked like someone beat it with a bat. Someone was beating it. It was dented. It looked like they was going to town on it. I was like, whoa, they really wanted this. So I was like, man, I hope it worked. So I immediately, let me remember what I did. I opened the beer box, swapped another camera. I swapped one of my because it's such a war zone, such a crazy situation. Your boy riding around with extra cameras is that bad. Like, it's that bad, people. I'm riding around with extra cameras on me. So I went to the car to get an extra trail camera. Yes, it's this crazy. I went to the car and get an extra trail camera and swapped it out with the beat up one and took the beat up one. Now at this moment I gotta go. I'm like, oh, I got the gold medal. I don't know if dude's about to hop off the trucks and chase me. Allegedly, I don't know. I'm like I'm honestly fearing for my life when I got the camera this time. When I got the beat up camera, I'm like, oh. So I'm like crazy. So I'm hitting the trail, looking over my back. I got the computer open. I got it on my phone because I had a device where you plug it into your phone and you just put the chip in the phone. Like I say, real techie stuff here. It's like, it got crazy. So I'm riding around like the army and the Marines with gadgets on me. So I plug it into the phone. So I'm going down the trail. I'm seeing trains coming. I'm thinking, oh, they about to block me in with the train. I'm like tripping. I call my girl. So no, first I look at what's on the damn camera. Allegedly the first video I see. The first video I see. Someone beating the camera. Someone doing this. So just how this first person, how they look right now, this is what I'm seeing. Some random guy though beating my stuff up. Allegedly, this is what I'm looking at. This dude doing this, just like that. And on camera, clear just like this. Just no sound. All you see is debris going from the camera like what? It's like first person like this. That's all you see. Is it going down on the camera? I'm immediately, what the, this person is beating the camera? Allegedly? So I'm like, I gotta get from back here. This is what it was coming for, allegedly. This is what it was looking for. That's why I caught Sequoia Consultants employee allegedly looking on my property, looking at this stuff. It makes sense now. Like, yeah, you want this. You don't want Mr. Clemons to get a hold of this on the camera. You don't want this. So I'm like, allegedly, I'm like, looking, I call my girl, I'm like, hey, if I sent it to her. She say she got it and looked at it and say my daughter thought someone was beating me with the that's how it looks. It looks so crazy. She said my daughter allegedly thought someone was doing it to me, and then she had to let her know, like, no, that's just he caught the dude. So allegedly, I'm telling her, like, hey, if something happened, I'm sending you the video. I'm serious. I'm like, I don't know, because this ain't never happened. Like, you just catch somebody this good, you know what I mean? Allegedly. I'm like, I ain't never see this ever. And I watch crime stuff. when I was young, Dateline. I'm trying to map this after, unsolved mysteries, you know what I mean? So I was like, I ain't never seen no evidence this good. They go coming to get me. I was like, they coming to get me right now. You can't die. They coming to get me right now. So allegedly, I called her. I was like, hey, here's the evidence. I'm going to try to get him back here. Because, I'm back, and my property is like, ain't too many animals can survive back there, you know what I mean? So, I got to get miles and miles before I get to anybody that's reputable, you know what I mean? I was the only one back there reputable, you see what I'm saying? So, I couldn't, ain't even nobody on my side, you see what I'm saying? So, I had to get from back there. I called her, I said, this is we got him, but they might get me. So, luckily I got from back there. I knew off top, I ain't been telling the cops. I ain't been telling them. Because look, I already showed them crimes. They already committed another crime. Nothing happened. So if I show you the ultimate felony, they still ain't gonna do nothing. So I was like, hey, let me wager what I got here. You know what I mean? That's when that lawyer, I would say that lawyer vibe started to kick in, you know what I mean? Like, let me think it out. You know what I mean? A little bit. So, didn't mention it. Didn't say nothing. But I did call them to test them out. See what I'm saying? I called them to test them out. So I was like, oh, yeah. They pissed off. For some strange reason. Called San Bernardino County. Allegedly, they pissed off that I'm even calling. Tell me I better stop calling. All this crazy stuff. So, tell them I got the main video of the dude smashing allegedly. Tell them I got Pinkerton on camera smashing my camera allegedly. They said, so, ain't nothing. Allegedly. Dismissing it. Just not caring about it. Not trying to do nothing about it. Still calling them a gentleman, allegedly. I'm still a problem. That's why I never give them the video. So for like about 2 days, I was like, man, I ain't giving them the video. Then, I think was like, man, I gotta freaking sue these people, man, because the cops ain't doing nothing. Like, I gotta freaking get a lawyer. How much a freaking lawyer gonna cost to sue these big companies? Like, BNSF is a Berkshire Hathaway subsidiary. Who's Berkshire Hathaway? That's a Warren Buffett company. Google Warren Buffett. So, and allegedly. So, I was like, man, how I'm gonna do this? How I'm gonna sue these people? I know I got the video, so it should be easy. I show it to a lawyer, it should be slam dunk, right? Like, you just, oh, they on video, slam dunk. Slam dunk, it's a slam dunk. Like alley-oop, dunk it. I just alley-oop the video and they dunk it, right? Like, obviously it's on video, like, I thought. So, caught him on video. Didn't tell the cops. Hold it for a couple days. The cops playing around. Oh, really? Well, they start playing this. Well, if you have that for sure, Mr. Clemons. If you have them doing a real crime, we'll have to do our jobs. So I got them on the phone like this for 2 days now. They telling me this. We gonna do our job. Before that wasn't a crime, really, but it was crimes allegedly. But that's what they're telling me. Oh, it's not a crime. It's, you got to really get them on a crime. If you have what you say you have, Mr. Clemons, because I'm describing it to him now. I'm like, yeah, I got him smashing it like he, like the camera owed him money. You know what I mean? The camera stole his girlfriend. You see what I'm saying? That's how he was beating the camera. Like, you know what I mean? Like the camera, like, used to mess with him in school back in the day, and he getting to get back. You know what I mean? Like, allegedly, that's how I saw it. Like, dang, like. And he really beat it up, you know what I mean? So, I'm telling them, like, hey, like, Are y'all gonna handle that? And I played around for 2 days with it, and then they keep on telling me like, yeah, we can handle that if what I got is really what I got. So I was like, okay. So I remember it was like a Sunday. They would always send me little links. Oh, send the evidence to this link and stuff like that. Okay, let me upload this video. So I sent the video. The second cop that came to the property that was actually decent, I talked to him and was like, yeah, I give you y'all video. Like, are y'all going to arrest this guy? Like what's going on? Like, I'm in a hole, like, 30,000 and just theft alone, not to mention all the other stuff that happened, you know what I mean? And he like, oh yeah, well, so-and-so, the other officer that was being on, where he's on the case, he's going to handle it. I'm like, okay. So he was like, oh, he's going to be in tomorrow, so if you uploaded the video, he's going to take a look at it, and yeah, he should be arrested. That's what the one cop told me. He was like, he should be arrested. So boom. Fast forward the next day. I call a cop, I'm like, hey, you see the video? He playing that. Oh, what video? Oh, what? Just upload it again. Oh, okay. So I upload it again. Still know nothing. I'm messaging them. What y'all gonna do? Nothing. They not saying nothing. Crazy stuff, man. So that was that. I literally gave them the video. They ain't been doing nothing. So I'm tripping out. I'm like, damn, I gave them this video. I'm already starting calling around lawyers. I'm like, man, I'm gonna have to sue these people, man. Like, that's all you're gonna do. Like, I wasn't even thinking about suing, because ain't like that. It's like, I'm a victim here, and I'm trying to just like, why y'all doing this? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, I got kids back here, I got my woman back here. Y'all harassing me for years, and accumulated to felony robbery and all this type of stuff. Allegedly, it's like I'm trying to figure out what's going on for the most part, and then we can figure out the other stuff. So, I gave them all the video. I gave San Bernardino County Sheriff's a video of a felony act, allegedly, and they did nothing about it. Yes, they did nothing about it. So, days later, I was like, man, why is stuff just like this? It's like, I give these people a video and they ain't doing nothing. Is it, the company? Like, what's going on? So, it was just crazy. So, fast forward a few days later, the cop called me, allegedly, and gonna tell me he gonna bring the guy back to my property and do a reenactment. Yes, people, he said he gonna bring the guy back to my property. The cop called me, say, Mr. Clemons, we gonna bring the guy back to your property, the gentleman, and do a reenactment. Yes, people, that's what he told me.